Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and we're back on the air gun that I'm building, or rebuilding, or whatever you want to call it. uh, it's sort of a half and half, rebuilding and building. But I finally got my barrel, and this is the big old beefy ass barrel. This thing's more than an inch wide. 25 caliber barrel, and this is what I got. This is what it looks like. Somebody went and turned this thing and did a terrible job. Look at that. I mean, come on guys, somebody needs to learn how to turn on the lathe, or leave that lathe alone. But that's how I got it. But that's not a big deal, because as long as I've got 16 millimeters, I'm good. So the outside diameter of this barrel is going to be about 16 millimeters by the time I'm said and done. And right now we're at 20.50. So, but I wanted to show how you figure out the twist rate. Now I already know the twist rate on this because I've already tested it. But I wanted to go and do this on video so that you guys can see what you need to do to test the twist rate and find out what the twist rate is on your barrel. And this will work on any barrel. So what I've got here is a rod, cleaning rod, with a 25 caliber wire brush. And I've got a swivel head handle, so it'll spin. So basically what you do is you stick this cleaning brush in, and I'll go in probably about half of the rod. Then I'll take a piece of tape and wrap around this rod right up next to the barrel. Alright, so now we are pointed straight up. So now I'm going to pull this until that paper or tape is pointed straight back up again. So we'll start pulling it, and you can see it's twisting. We also now are finding out that we have a right hand twist. Alright, so now we're straight up and down. Now all you have to do is measure from here to here. And we're looking at, it says 10.5, but the last two times I tested it was 11. So let's do that one more time. So let's put that back in. And we'll pull it out one more time until that tape is straight up and down again. Just like that. And we're at 10.5. So we've got, I would say, between a 10 and an 11, 1 and 11, 1 and a 10 twist. And we also found out that it's a right hand twist. So when the pellet goes down the barrel, it's turning clockwise. So I did test the, I did slug the barrel, and I used a pellet and a slug, and we are at 24.5, not 25. So 25, it's a 25 caliber barrel. So now the next thing I need to do is turn this whole thing down to 16 millimeters wide. And we're not going to do that on video because I can tell you right now, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can turn the outside of it to a 16 millimeter and I can do all the machining on it. Crown the barrel, I can make the recess that goes into the breech, I can do the O-ring grooves, I can do the holes for the transfer port. The problem I'm going to have is that little hole right there is going to be a problem because I have to turn that to put an O-ring in it. Because you have to have an O-ring around your bolt to seal it so that all your air goes behind the pellet and not back in your face. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. I may have to send this out and have somebody else do this for me. I don't know. I hope not. But I bought a 5 millimeter boring bar, but I don't think that's the actual size of the boring bar. I think that's the size of the bit. So I'm probably going to have to make or get with my buddy and see if he can help me make a boring bar to do an O-ring groove in the end of this barrel, so that when you push the bolt in, it'll go up against the O-ring and seal it. So that's where I'll either make the barrel or break the barrel. I'm not real confident in my O-ring abilities simply because I've never done it before. I've never done inside O-ring grooves. I've done outside O-ring grooves, but when you do inside O-ring grooves, that changes things. Now, yes, I could probably take the bolt and turn it and put an O-ring on the bolt, but I don't like the way the O-ring takes a beating as it's going through the magazine and getting the pellet into the barrel. That's kind of hard on that O-ring. Now, there are O-rings on bolts in some air rifles, but I would rather the O-ring be in the barrel. So we may have to put a O-ring on the bolt, and I'll show you that bolt that we got. So this here is the bolt for this 25 cal, and I would have to put an O-ring groove right here on it, but I really don't want to do that. It's hard on those O-rings going through that magazine, because when you're pushing that pellet through the magazine, the pressure of the spring is still trying to push the magazine around to the next pellet. So when you get your pellet in it, it will move just a little bit, and then at that point your pellet's going to be hitting the edge of the cylinder that the pellets are setting in. So it's going to be pushing it across that first edge and then off the second side and then through the barrel. So it takes a bit of a punishment before it gets through the magazine. So I don't know. I'd rather have the O-ring groove in the barrel. I may have to send this out to somebody, like I said, and have them do it. I'm just not, I don't think I'm that good. I know there's people out there that think I am, but I'm not. It's fake. I'm not good. I'm terrible. Just ask everybody that knows me. They'll tell you I'm no good. So, but I wanted to show you how to figure out your twist rate. So I'm curious as to why it's showing me 11. Something must be going, or 10.5 instead of 11. I'm going to try this one more time. Alright, so we're pointed straight up. Alright. Same thing, 10.5. I've never seen a 10.5. I've never seen them in half increments. I've seen them in 1-inch increments, but not half-inch increments. So we're looking at a 10.5 to 1 to 10.5 twist, which is closer to your slower twist rate. So this pellet will go slower, have a slower twist than if you use it 1 to 7 or 1 to 8 or 1 to 9 or whatever. This will probably work just fine for an air rifle. Now this barrel came off of a 25-06 firearm. So the 06 is, and I just learned this from my buddy, Dale. I just lost my train of thought. I hate it when I forget what I'm saying. I was thinking about that damn groove right there, and I lost my train of thought. Plus, I seen some writing on it that I'm interested to see what the writing says on it, see if it tells anything more about it. So, this is a Remington 25-06 Sendero. Never heard of a Sendero. If anybody knows much about them barrels, let me know. Warning. Read instruction book for safe operation. Free from Remington Arms Company. But anyway, the 06, that's what I was saying. The 06 is the chamber casing, whatever. 25 is the slug. So this is a 25 caliber barrel. I've learned a lot about these damn air rifles in the last couple of years, and I'm just interested to see how this thing's going to turn. I may have to use a follow rest. I don't know. I hope not, because I really don't want to use those. So we're going to turn that down with the lathe, and that will be in the next video where I show this thing at least halfway done. I'm probably not going to have the O-ring groove in there, but we'll see. I might have to make me an O-ring groove boring bar to put in there, and it's only probably about a 1/16 of an inch from the end of the barrel. So I don't have to go in the barrel very far. I just got to go in far enough to where I can have a little bit of a lip before the O-ring, so that when this goes in there, it'll seal. Because see, you got all that play right there for your bolt. So of course this thing's chambered. It's got a chamber in it, so part of this has got to be cut off to get right to the rifling. So let's see here. Yeah, see, it won't go in this end. So I'm wondering if this barrel ain't choked. Because it seems like when I go in with this, it's got a little bit of a hard spot right at the very end. And my barrel's going to be really clean after this, ain't it? I seen a lot of dust coming out of this thing when I first started. But she looks pretty decent. Nice looking barrel. So, this thing, I don't know how much this thing weighs. I think it's 3 pounds. We definitely don't want no 3-pound barrel, do we? So remember, we was at 9.11 ounce, or 9 pounds 11 ounces before. If I added this barrel we are 3 pounds, 11.5 ounces, almost 4 ounces. So we would be looking at a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pound gun. I ain't doing no 13 pound gun. So we're going to turn all this off except for 16 millimeters of it. So a lot of this weight's going to go away. So, but anyway, that's how you figure out your twist rate on your any rifle, whether it be air rifle, firearm, no matter what it is. This is how you figure out what your twist rate is. So, hope you guys learned something out of this. You guys have a good one. Later.